What's up, Sports-A-Delic? It's me, Reem, and I'm sitting here with none other than Double R, Rick Rodriguez of CAO. We getting ready to chop it up. Come on over here in the studio because we getting ready to find out what's really going on in 2022 with CAO. Double R, Rick Rodriguez, CAO, the man with the plan. And let me tell you what I'm getting ready to do because I
Okay.
have a stack of my favorites.
Oh, I love that.
You know.
I need to talk about that one. To
Okay.
share some information. The
Okay.
American is a hidden jewel. It is a hidden jewel. It's been out of the market for a lot of years. But when somebody rediscovers it or discovers it the first time, it's a great blend. Had nothing to do
Yes.
with that blend, but recognize how good that blend is.
And
We don't even need to talk about
uh
that. It's just,
yeah.
well,
Well,
you know,
yeah. Since you brought it
you're
up,
saying, smart people think alike. So,
you remember this?
which one? Yes, yes. That's that is, where do we get that from?
This is the old school, the La Traviata.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
A,
is
a, a
another.
true a
I
true
would love,
throwback.
yeah, I would love to talk about too because I think that we're going to eventually bring that back because the fans of CEO misses it right now, and so it's a
Well, Rick,
kind
my mouth misses it.
You know what? It's just a get good. We can talk about that cigar and what they wanted to do with that cigar and that blend, and what they did with the market after they released that blend, and how it really caught everybody off guard and changed the mind of how do you approach your fan base. And so it was a great story. I'd love to share that too. So a lot of
Right.
stories to share with you today.
Okay. Well, first, I want to get into this first because I've been looking at some of your posts on Facebook.
Hmm.
Were you ready to let Tom Brady go, Rick?
You know what? It's kind of a blur. It's like being married and finding yourself in a foreign, state or foreign country, and you don't want to do this, but you kind of cheat on your lover, and for the short period of time, and you discover something that you're going to be able to think about on your rocking chair, and say, you remember when you were in France and you hooked up with that girl for a couple weeks. It seems like a blur. I don't. I would say this: never say never. Already, he's already talking about.
He's already said never say never.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's not the right time to go. Because he has a.
Well, you all were just really one play away from kind of being back there.
Right, but he's realized next year is going to be a totally different team
Hmm.
because this team is a lot of older players. Contract wise, we have a lot of contracts on the table. So I think he's going to step back, see what we do. He's not going to come back with a team that we can go 500 ball with
Oh,
or
no, 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 no.
9 wins. He wants to say, okay, if you're going to bring me back, what are you going to bring back with me?
Yeah,
So
of course.
but you know
And
what? That 2 years was a dream. I was a fan of Tom Brady. I was not a fan of the Patriots. I'm a Michigan fan. So growing up, I was always, I don't know why, I have no connection to Michigan, but Michigan was one of my favorite football teams growing up for college. And so I followed Tom Brady. And so, but I thought he was cheater. He was a cheater. That tuck rule, that was a fumble. But
yes, it was.
it worked out for us because remember, Gruden was fired the next or traded the next year. And
Right.
so, thank you so much,
But
Tom.
I'm glad that he and um, the guy, his name escapes me, but they
Graham?
finally Woodson.
Oh,
He and Woodson finally talked about it, and Tom was like, "Hey, look, man, I don't make the rules, but
yeah.
yeah, you got me. But in that situation, of course, I'm gonna say you didn't get this. I was throwing.
That was a great interview. And it
It
was
was.
you could see how much respect and love they have for each other. Because I
Hmm.
don't think Woodson is that guy, a kind of guy that shows you that love. He just, shows you the respect he has for you. But you could see that brotherhood that they had.
That
So it was
and the
really a
brotherhood
story.
that they
Yeah,
talk about.
yeah, it's amazing.
Now, I just thought that it was explicitly shameful. Antonio Brown. I mean, he's notorious for all of that, but that was just
The
first of
sad,
all, if
the,
not for Tom, you would not have even been back in the league.
right. Our takeaways as fan of the Bucks, it was sad because we were a fan of Antonio. To us, we don't care what you do out the field as long as you don't hurt somebody, be evil to somebody. Not paying your chef. I don't care about that, But what I think he needs help. I don't know, but it was just sad to see such a great player, maybe in his career with that kind of situation.
Nonsense. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would vote for him for the Hall of Fame right now because regardless of what he did at the end, if you stack his numbers up and what
They're incredible.
he was a beast on that field, and nobody knew how to deal with him. So, in my eyes, I would be the force to say, not Man of the Year, but Hall of Fame. For sure. Yeah.
Right, right. Now, what I wanted you to do, just take a minute and share with the viewers who you are and your transformation and how it came about. You got into this cigar game and the blending and becoming. Now, I think that you're a master. I mean, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
Master to me is, when I introduce myself in events, I say blender because the masters, in my eyes, the guys, the gentlemen that taught me what I do today. These are
okay.
masters. And so these are Hall of Fame guys. These are guys that have been in the business for 30, 50 years in the business. Those are my masters. Now, if you as a fan want to say, oh, no, you're a cigar master because you make cigars, you know what? I accept that term that you use, but do I use it? No, I don't, because out of respect for the gentlemen and the ladies before me, I don't want to take anything because how do I compare myself in that circle, that table, sitting down with the Benji Menendez of the world, or the Patrons of the world, or the Fuentes of the world? Those are masters, and I'm just a student of what they do. Now, down the road, maybe, but that's not something. But going back, I was recruited into the cigar business about now going on 23 years ago. And I met this gentleman, and I was having my first and only child, and he was having his first of 4 children. And so we
Mhm.
hooked up, and we had a great time. We were in Lamaze classes at the local hospital, learning how to change diapers and hold babies and all that. And I was, if you know me for 5 minutes, I'm not a serious person. I love to
Right.
make people laugh. I love to make people at ease, and I love to share knowledge with them. And so I've learned very quickly the easiest route to share knowledge is to make people at ease. They'll listen to you, clearer. And if you have some humor that you can add to it, even better. And so that is my philosophy for all my careers. And so we struck up this a relationship, and he says, "Hey, Ro, what do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm in the carpet business. I sell flooring, wood floors, ceramic,
Wow. Wow. I didn't know
and
that.
and then, carpet. And he says, you like it? You know what? It's a job, pays very well. Oh, well, I work for Nestle's. Do you want to come to work with me and sell candy bars? I said, Dave, now, I don't want to sell a candy bar because, in my eyes, whatever I did in the past, how does it affect my friends and people I can help? And so I don't think anybody would come to my garage to have a candy bar with me. So I said, there's no value to my friends. So I'm not hanging with little kids. And so no, I passed. And about 2 years later, he called me back. I said, bro, I left Nestle's and I went to work with B&B Beans, a baked bean company. You want to sell baked beans? I said, Dave, you got to be kidding me. What is the value of a can of baked beans for my friend? I passed. But about 3 years later, he called me out of the blue and he said, Ricky, I work for General Cigar. At that time, I didn't know about the cigar business. Matter of fact, he thought I was a cigar smoker because I was based in Tampa. The first time we went out to dinner, we were in Ybor City, and we went by a shop, and I said, Dave, if you're going to live in Tampa, you need to be a cigar smoker. I didn't say this to him. Matter of fact, if I go to that shop, I'm going to buy you a cigar, and I'm going to buy me one. And he assumed I knew what I was doing. That was my first cigar ever. And
Wow.
so I walked to the shop, and I bought myself a Fuente 858, and I bought him a Macanudo. And so we're walking down Ybor, and I am trying to look cool, smoke this cigar, and I am inhaling this cigar like my lungs had, taste buds in it. I was, and all of a sudden, I looked at him and said, I think I had too much to drink. Excuse me. Went down the little block in a little alley and just threw up. And came back. You know what? Too much booze, bro. The cigar? No, that has nothing to do with the cigar. I didn't know. I thought it was the booze. And so he called me and said, Ricky, I work for General Cigar. Who's General Cigar? Oh, we make Macanudo, Cohiba, Punch, Partagas. I know those lines. I've heard these lines because my grandfather and grandmother were in the cigar business. So I knew of lines, but I never smoked a cigar.
Got
and
it.
He said, oh, that's interesting. And he says, I have a territory in Tampa and North Florida if you want it. And at that time, I was just turning 39. And I said, you know what, Dave, I want another chance on something else because the carpet business, I made a lot of money, but I didn't enjoy it. I knew that I was just wasting my time, my talents. And so, you know what, let's do this. And I started.
And then certainly your friends, you could invite them over and give them.
Oh my God. The value of cigars. Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah. So exactly what I thought. I know 2 or 3 of my friends smoke cigars. So
Right.
they were always inviting me over to their house. And their house was not clean. I didn't feel comfortable. I love my house. So now, if you want my cigars, you have to come to me. And so that started a relationship with this group of guys. There's been 10 guys in my garage for the last 22 years. And we've been enjoying cigars together. And so it's been a really, really great time for them because I don't think they have bought one cigar in the last 22 years. And so everything's free for them. But they do say the truth about my cigars. So these guys are brutal. If I say, hey, I tried the new concert, and they smoke it, what is this? Oh my God, this is awful. Bro, it's free. Respect the master.
Yeah.
But what I started in General Cigar, I was a salesman, and I sold in sales for about 4 years, and then we were owned by a gentleman called Mr. Coleman, Egbert Coleman, and Mr. Coleman started to reach out behind the scenes to my boss, to a couple of shops that he knew. to Benji Menendez. I want you to go and work with Ricky, and I want you to kind of pick his brain. And Benji, I know when you do an event, it's about you, and you're the master from Cuba and all that. But once in a while, let Ricky share your stories and see how he shares our stories. And so, at the beginning, I realized this. I do not know about cigars, but I do have the ability to reach out to find out the stories behind these blends. And I think that it will help me if I can just share the stories. And I started
Right.
that, and that caught the attention of everybody. And so 4 years later, Mr. Coleman approached me one time and said, "Ricky, your days of selling cigars are over. I need some help." And so, "Sir, I love your company. Whatever you want me to do, I would do for you." And he said, "Well, a lot of our blenders are either retiring or leaving this company. And so what we want to do is train you if you want the opportunity to be a blender." You got to be kidding
Yeah,
me.
you're
And
like,
I
hell
didn't
yeah.
realize, yeah, I didn't realize what I was saying yes to, but I did know at that time, I think this opportunity will change my life. I'm going to be able to expand from Florida to other states, and I want to travel. And so, yeah, for sure. And he says, "Stop, stop, stop. Before, yeah, you're answering the question too fast. Let me explain what is going to happen to you if we pull yours from sales. You have to live in the DR for 6 months. We'll allow you to come home for a weekend or two once in a while, but you're going to live there. You're going to smell, eat, touch, and live tobacco for 6 months in the DR. After that, you're going to go to Honduras, and you're going to do the same thing, 6 months in there, and you're going to learn about our tobacco and what we do in the process. And after that, you're going to work with Benji. We don't know how long, but it turned out I worked with Benji for 5 years. And so if you don't know Benji, for your fan base, if you don't know Benji, just Google Benji Menendez. And he was the owner of the H. Hutman factory in Cuba. And he left
Mm.
Cuba in 1960, I think 64.
And I
64.
love that cigar.
Yeah, after the revolution, because he fought for Fidel. He believed in Fidel, but Fidel had a meeting with Benji and says, "Benji, thank you so much for fighting for us, but your company is now owned by the state or the government, and so you have to report to us." And Benji said, "No, this is my family's business. My grandfather started this business. I'm not going to work for anybody." So Benji, you have two options. Tomorrow, you report to the factory, or tomorrow you'd leave this country. And he packed up and left that country in less than 22 hours. He was gone.
Mm.
Gone. Whatever they could carry is only they think they allowed him
Yeah.
to go away with. And so
Wow.
he kind of went to Miami, and he was in the cigarette business, and because he had no job. And at that in the 60s, it was all Cuban cigars. Nobody was manufacturing anything outside of Cuba. And so he was struggling, and he was a salesman for a cigarette company. Remember, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman comes from the family. His grandfather, Mr. Coleman's grandfather, started a little company called Philip Morris Cigarettes. And so he heard of Benji working for this cigarette company, and he said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm trying to feed my family. I left Cuba with $1,000 in my pocket, and we're living in a one-bedroom apartment in Cuba, and he had three children at that time, and him and his wife, one bedroom, and 5 people." And he said, "No, you're not going to do this. I'm thinking about getting into the cigar business." And he approached Benji in 1967 and say, "Benji, I just bought a factory in Jamaica, and I think I'm going to start my own premium cigar company called General Cigar. And the first cigar that we're going to launch is called Magneto. And I want you to work with us." And that started that relationship. So that's just a little brief history of Benji and my relationship. So I worked with the factories, and what the factories taught me is how that what do we do when we accept that tobacco from the farm and all the process that tobacco from the back door to the front door goes through. So we receive the tobacco from the back door, and then we have to cure it, get it ready for fermentation, and then aging, and then stripping, and then blending and rolling and packaging and banding and shipping. So all those processes I had to spend, depending on the process and how valuable that process is, how much time I spent that. So my first week in the factory was sweeping the floor, because they said two things. That loose tobacco on the floor is money to us. We didn't sweep it up and throw it away. We swept it up and sold it to machine guys. So the guys who were doing Philly blunts or hot Tampas, any machine made cigar is all this loose tobacco that they gather from all these factories because they can buy it so cheaply. Because if it's a wrapper, it's maybe $30 a pound, but in a floor scrapings, I could sell it to you for $1 a pound. Perfect for me, because we're going to disguise the blend with coffee flavor, chocolate flavor. Don't worry about it. And so all of that I didn't realize. But I said, Mr. Coleman, okay, I'm sweeping. What does that mean to you? He said, Ricky, would you want to come to a dirty factory? Respect everybody that works for me. I don't care if it's the factory, the sweeper, or the rollers. I want to give them an environment they're proud of and they want to work with. And he taught me so much about just how to enter a factory. This is Mr. Coleman, how to enter a factory. And usually when management, high-end management goes and visit a factory, they sit in the front of the factory in a AC environment, kind of a concert room, and they say, well, you know what, I want to taste the tobacco, and they bring it to them. And Mr. Coleman hated that, and he said, I will never ever have a meeting in that office. We'll have our meetings out in the factory floor, because that is where my people are. And so he respected each and every roller. I don't care if you're a manager or you're the VP of the factory, he treated you the same. Called you by name, first name, and asked about your family. And he knew about families, for rollers to the sweeping of the floor guy to the head of the factory. He just treated everybody equal. And so that process taught me, respect anybody doing that business. And so I spent a lot of time in fermentation, aging areas. I rolled cigars for about 3 weeks. I can say this, I am the worst cigar roller known to man. That's it. I have
plaque. Now you know.
Yeah, there's a plaque in the factory, worst roller ever, and it's the Ricky Rodriguez. That's it. And so,
history is history.
It is. It is. I said to the guy that was struggling with me, I said, bro, relax. I'm not here to be a roller. That's the good news. The good news, the bad news is, you just need to teach me enough to why I could be dangerous, but never take over your job. And so they did that. But fermentation and aging in the farm, harvesting tobacco, was my main time that I spent. And so after that, I went to Honduras. And I asked this question. Okay, I just spent 6 months of my life in the DR. Why am I going to Honduras? Because I'm thinking it's the same. And no, it's not the same. Because what we do in one factory is different in the other factory. So if you look at factories like General Cigar owns 3 factories, one in the DR, one in Honduras, and one in Nicaragua. The way I break it down for the general public and say, okay, let's transfer something you know about, a hamburger. So The DR represents if I own a franchise of McDonald's, and you know that Chase, that profile, when you enter the McDonald's, you know exactly the flavors you're going to receive. But Honduras is more like Burger King, and then Nicaragua is Wendy's. At the end of the day, all three of those companies use what? The same product, a burger and a bun. And how
But
we
it tastes totally different.
well,
Yes.
how we prepare it and what we add to it makes it different. So that taught me, oh, so I can use the same tobacco that the DR uses, but our process in Honduras will make it different. Exactly. And so that's the beauty of working with this larger company, because I can give you guys different styles and different tastes using the same tobaccos that we run through all the factories.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
now that you said
really,
it.
yeah, it really breaks it down. What the true secret of any manufacturer is the fermentation. That's it. That's really this true secret. Aging comes into play sometimes. How long do you age your wrapper? That will affect your cigar. But if you and me have the same tobaccos, from wrapper, binder, all fillers the same, and you go back to your factory, you're going to say to me, "Hey, bro, I'm going to make a mild cigar," and I'm going to say to you, "Girl, you need to study your fan base, because I think it's full body. We can use the same tobacco, and you can create a mild cigar, and I can create a full body cigar." How? Different primings. How do we select the tobacco from that plant? Oh, for you, you're going to select the bottom of the tobacco plant to give you that mild range. For me,
Okay.
full body, I'm going to go up and select Lajero, more body. And then fermentation. You, long fermentation and long aging. For my full body cigar, short fermentation and short aging. And I was going to deliver, and colors and all that. So you can use the same tobacco, but your process of tobacco will allow you to make it different.
Well, I thank you for that education. It was a whole bunch of tidbits that I did not know. But I'm going to tell you, when we first met, and it's true, neither one of us will ever meet a stranger, because that's kind of like my personality as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but the one thing that I took from the conversation that we had, you talked about relationships. He said, "Hey, this is a very small business. Seem like it's large. It's very small, and value the relationships. Because at the end of the day, you never know when you're going to have to call on or depend on those relationships."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I found. I've met some of the best people that I know if I was not enjoying the leaf,
Mm-hmm.
I would have not ever come into contact with them.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Hence is why I was able to call and ask of you to come on my feed.
Yeah, for sure. Because what I want to do for you, don't get yourself wrong. You're helping me. Yes, I may help you a little bit more because you know Ricky. I'm going to have Ricky on my show. There's no way. He's too big.
Of course, yeah.
There's no way, because I don't care how small your audience is or how big. You're not going to get a different Ricky. There's no different. This is me. But I don't kid myself. Maybe there's 2 or 3 of your fans have never smoked a cigar from CAO and watch this video, say, "You know what? Not a bad guy. I'm going to try one." So we know it works both ways. You're helping me, but I'm helping you. And that I love to help people. I just love. I hate to receive. I love to give.
Yeah, and that's really what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I may be talking about sports, or I may be talking about some current event. I'm enjoying a cigar, and I always tell the audience what I'm smoking, and then they'll hit me up in the comments and say, "Hey, I went out and got that. I loved it," because it's a lot of cigars are so mainstream now, and people are finding out that they don't want to smoke the same cigar all day, every day, but they don't really know,
They're
what to
scared.
get.
They're scared because we're assuming a lot of what I found out is guys assume they know more than they do about cigars because they're a guy. Where the ladies of the world say to me all the time, I don't know anything about cigars other than this. I love smoking cigars. So can you help
Right.
me branch out to more cigars? Oh my God. If half the dudes that are out there allow me that open door, I can help so much more. But,
Right.
it just affects that way. But for us to help your fan base, what is the most important? When I'm smoking a cigar, what do I look for? I've always said, do not worry about the blend. So it's a wrapper. The wrappers. Let's start there. Once you find a cigar that you enjoy, you take that cigar back to your shop or a friend, maybe you as a source. Okay, I love this wrapper. What's it from? Oh, that's Connecticut broadleaf. Okay, there's any more cigars made with it? Yes, I mean huge amounts. But that
Right.
doesn't say to you you're going to enjoy every. It's kind of let's go back to food. Just because you like pizza doesn't mean you're going to like pizza from Pizza Hut
Right.
or Domino's because you're in Philly or in New York. That you have these local mom and pop shops will blow them away of making
Right.
it. So, yes, I can direct you to another cigar or two, but don't assume you're going to like it until you smoke it and judge it for yourself. Just because you
Right.
say, this is my favorite Connecticut broadleaf, different than yours, doesn't mean that you're going to like it because my palate is different than yours.
Well, talk about the Maduro, because I try to explain to people as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because it's a Maduro doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean it's going to blow the top of your head
Yeah.
off and you're
Yes.
you're going to be somewhere throwing up. But that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the ignorance when it comes
Yeah.
to that piece.
Yes.
So
Yes.
talk about the Maduro, if you would.
Maduro is what we're trying to accomplish with any Maduro, any from a mild, medium, or full body cigar, a Maduro. All we want to give you is that natural sweetness that tobacco has in it. So when you harvest tobacco, what it has is not sugar. What it has is starch, and starch turns into sugar.
Right.
The longer you ferment it, the temperatures you rise is going to break that starch down and turn it to sugar. So any Maduro, what we want you to do is taste it when you have it in Maduro and you rotate it before you light it and you taste your lips. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, yes. So
Right.
sometimes we really want to highlight that sweetness, and that's going to be on blends that we can maybe a mild to medium. I can really highlight that because when you're offering your fillers, you can overpower that sweetness with spice from Nicaragua and downplay it. But the true reason that anybody makes a Maduro is not because it's going to be strong or it's going to be mild, is to offer you that natural sweetness to that tobacco. So
Right.
now, what you do with the middle of your the tobacco will allow you to make a medium and really focus on the wrapper, or a full body cigar that I want you to taste it, but it's like putting salt on your steak, just a little bit. I can't tell, but I still taste 90% of that beef and only a little bit of that salt. So when you're doing a full body cigar, I want you to taste a little bit of the sweetness, but more of the spice or whatever other notes that we want to play with. So if you're in that category that I have never smoked a dark cigar Maduro because I'm scared of the body, yes and no. That's a great thing to learn over. there's certain manufacturers already know when they do a cigar. I'm going to pick on Pepin, and Pepin is
Yes.
my favorite cigars out on the market. But they're known for what? Spicy,
Spicy.
full body, kick you in your butt kind of
Pepper.
cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll struggle to give you a mild cigar because they're not known for that. And they don't know how to work with that because they're known. But they can definitely. But if you know a line, 80% of the chance, if you go for Pepin, is going to be body. When you're talking about General Cigar or CAO, no, I can't because he can do a mild, he can do a medium. I can do a jet black cigar. I mean, blacker than my shirt and make it mild. But I also give you a light wrapper and make it full bodied. So you cannot judge by the leaf, but sometimes you can judge by the manufacturer. Who is making that cigar? Are they known for a variety of bodies, or they're known for one body, like full body? Champions are that cigar is going to be full body.
Right. I'm telling you, the first time that I, had this Amazon, I was doing great until I got right here. And I had to back up. I said, whoa. But what I particularly like about, my CAOs, and this is a classic to the fat head. What I like is I like the complexion. I like that it doesn't overpower me, and I can get those flavors. I can actually get those notes, in my mouth. And oh my gosh, the Brazilian, I
Hall of
love.
Fame. It should be in the Hall of Fame. If there's a Hall
It
of Fame,
should be in the Hall of Fame. It should be, man.
I've always said to every magazine I've ever did an interview, from Cigar Aficionado to Cigar Snob to anybody, guys, Cigar Aficionado has a Hall of Fame of blenders. There are only 11 people in the Hall of Fame right now. I've been trained by 4. There's nobody in the world can say I was trained by 4 Hall of Famer. I can. But I've always said to everybody, there's not a Hall of Fame of blends. And so what do you mean? Blends. Or there's certain blends in the market that change the way we look at certain items, certain sizes, certain blends, or certain tobaccos. And so name one. Okay, Brazilian.
Brazilian, yes.
Before CEO introduced Brasilia to the market, every manufacturer looked at Brasilia. Oh, you can get Brazilian tobacco. It's kind of for cigarettes or a cheap money cigar. It's not a premium cigar tobacco. And they changed that. And now every manufacturer wants to offer a Brazilian cigar. Say Opus X. Opus X is not okay. Some guys will say it's the best cigar ever made. Okay,
that's Richard. You remember Richard at Blue Havana too? Yeah, he's an Opus X fanatic. That's his go-to.
So that's his go-to. That is the top of the mountain.
It is.
But what we discovered is not about the blend. It's about the marketing behind the cigar. What do you mean you're going to release it once in a while and it's going to be hard to get? Why would you do that? Just open the, no, we're going to do it. And we're going to also make it a super premium by price point. And that changed the way every manufacturer, I want a super premium kind of one and done line. That is where we went to this one. And so it's not price point, but it's very unique tobacco, one and done, once a year kind of thing. So when you look at the Hall of Fame of blends, they're Macanudo Cafe, whatever you think about that cigar today, it opens so many doors for so many cigar smokers. If I meet 10 guys, 8 will say to me, 7 to 8 will say, my first cigar I've ever smoked was a Macanudo. And so it shows you the kind of get your cigar out of the market, and they will follow you. So there is a Hall of Fame of blends, and I'm sorry to extend this conversation, but I think
it's worth it. It's
would,
worth it.
yeah, I think Brasilia would be one that I would. He said to me, "Why not? Flathead. Flathead is the #1 selling cigar in your company's history, the highest rated cigar in the now." Flathead is a great blend. It just connected with fans. The box, the band, the blend, the style.
Right.
It's not something special. It's just a great cigar. I would, but Brasilia, yes, I would, yeah. And I had nothing to do with that. I would love for one of mine to be a Hall of Fame blend, but I would say to your fans, if you never enjoyed a Brasilia, go out there. If you want to try CL for the first time, reach for 2 cigars, either the Brasilia or the Flathead, and that I think will represent what we can do and what we can offer you as a fan of CL.
Well, let me ask you this question. If you had to say, because I play basketball at every level, and there's always that one performance that I could share with people and say, on this particular night, there was no stopping me. This was my best performance. Right here, right now, today. What would you say your best, the one you're most proud of?
That's the key. That word right now, proud of. Because I was doing an interview with this French magazine, and it says, you know what, typically, this is the question we're going to ask you. What's your favorite cigar in your life? And I said, well, every manufacturer hates that. Because you're trying to say, if I had 3 kids, choose who's your favorite. You want to kind of step back and, well, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm watching a game and I have one son, I think that I want my son with me to watch that game.
Unless it was me, of course.
Exactly. But if I'm going to a dinner or dance and I want to go to a concert, I want my daughter because she loves music. So it depends. But he says, I'm not going to ask you that question. What was your funnest cigar you ever released? What was the scariest cigar you ever released? And what is the one they're most proud of?
Right.
And wow. Okay. I can answer those questions.
Right, because you're proud of all of your children.
Yes.
But sometimes one may, really say, man, they really made me proud. Really
they do something special. My daughter or my son plays an instrument, and I'm so proud of that. But my daughter plays great basketball. My son couldn't dribble, but he can play the sax. But my daughter is the athlete of my family. So what am I doing? Listening to music? I want my son. Going to a sporting game? I want my daughter.
Right.
And so, funnest project I ever worked on is Flathead. Flathead is the funnest because it allowed me to do everything from the packaging to the blend to the sizes to the box because we had no time, and so that's another story for later on. But that was one of the funnest projects I ever worked because it was totally in my basket to do everything.
And it comes through, but it comes through in the cigar.
Yeah, I hope so because again, it's just you can see my flusher on that blind. It is matter of fact, if you ever have the 6x60, there I don't know if you can see the pictures. There's splice sheets, and inside the box, and this is pinup girls from the old days, and the 6x60 pinup girl is my mother when she was 17 years old. And so to be able to share secretly behind the scenes, I want this model to be this girl. and I showed the artist this model, and so, oh, she's beautiful. Who's this? Where'd you find it? Oh, Google? No, it happens to be my mother. And so he ran with that. And so, and then scariest, Emma's a bison, because we knew we had something special, but it was so different that we didn't know if the fan base or anybody will accept this new tobacco. So it's very scary for us to launch Amazon Basin. Now, looking today, past, like, wow, what a huge, huge hit for us. But the first time we released it, we're shaking. We don't know. And everybody's like, what is this band? What is this? What
Right.
it's tobacco. We've been in the industry for 40 years, 50 years. I've never, well, we did. And so
Yes.
my most proud cigar is Palone, because we work so hard on the cigar. Typically, it takes us about anywhere from 6 months to a year to create a blend, a box, the designs. But that cigar took 3 years, because the process that we're using for that Palone was different. It was a process that Cuba was using 100 years ago, and they gave up on it because of the timing. It takes us double the time to ferment that tobacco. So every tobacco that we started with didn't allow us to ferment the tobacco for 18 months, 20 months. So denied,
Okay.
start again. Denied, start again. So it took us 3 years. When we discovered the wrapper from Ecuador that allow us to ferment it long and also get gain the flavor that we wanted, bingo. So most proud of it would be definitely Palone. Scariest would be definitely Amazon Basin, and most fun I've ever had working on a project would be Flathead.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. What's new in 2022?
So what now? Right now, we're focused on a new line called Firewalker that should be in your area this week, possibly last week or next week. So Firewalker is part of a trilogy. So if you look at the success that we had on the Amazon Basin, we started with Amazon Basin, we had Fuma, and then we had Anaconda.
Anaconda.
We had to release and go away from, because the wrapper that we use on Anaconda, they don't grow anywhere more.
Okay.
So we replaced Anaconda with Oriano, and that replaces Trilogy. There's three, kind of blends. So last year we introduced the market the line called a Morocoil. Morocoil, using this unique tobacco from the DR, and that started the trilogy. The second of the trilogy is Firewalker, and the third of the trilogy, I don't know what that is going to be, because I'm going to go to the factories maybe next week or the following week, so to start to plan what we're going to do in 2023.
Got it.
Right now, I don't know what that's going to be, but I know it's going to be something unique as far as tobacco or processing of the tobacco. So if you look at Morocoil, it's about this special tobacco. But if you look at Firewalker, it's a unique situation of fermentation that they bury this tobacco in sand via volcano. And the lower you go down, dig your hole down, the hotter the soil becomes. So it is trapping all this heat and fermented tobacco. So when you unbury it, and 2 or 3 months later, what should take you 6 to 9 months happens in 2 to 3 months, because it's so hot out down there. And so that's a Firewalker, and it's just a process of fermentation that we're using on one of the fillers to bring out that flavor. And so,
Okay. Well, I look forward to it because I had seen your post and it said Firewalker is a great cigar. And, Richard is a plethora of cigar knowledge. And once he said, he's like, I never heard of it. I hadn't had it. And that's when I said, okay, well, it's not in our area yet. So we'll certainly look forward
friends
to
know
it.
friends, because like my friends have been smoking it, free of charge for the last 2 weeks. So what we'll do this after the show, send me your address, and I'll send you, Richard, a couple of the cigars so you can smoke and judge. I'd like to send you 3 of these cigars together because
Okay.
you cannot sample a cigar one time and say, don't like it.
Correct. You told me
Uh,
that before.
yeah, because you know what? If you're, if you had a bad day at the office, or you go home, you're kind of your wife or your husband bitching, or somebody's like just on your mind, you're thinking about problems, or
It just messes up the whole damn cigar.
exactly. So you smoke this new cigar, I don't like it. Now the mood was not right. So that's the reason I've always said to anybody, give a cigar 3 opportunities for you to try. After that, you can make your decision. It's not right for me. But you'll discover sometimes a great cigar that you, if I offer you guys a cigar and me and Richard are sitting around really talking about the cigar, I guarantee the cigar is going to get better and better because we're talking, we're living that experience. But you can take it home by yourself and smoke it the next day. What's missing? Oh, that conversation,
Right.
that connection that we had yesterday is not here. So that cigar
Right.
is not as good. It was, but also a cigar that was bad the first go around because you're by yourself thinking about problems, and you get around your friends all of a sudden. Oh, you want to try? Tried it 2 weeks ago. I don't like it, bro. Try it again. And oh my god, I love it because you're in that
Right.
environment. Yeah.
Right.
So
I've always said the company, the only thing, well, in this world, the only thing that can mess up a great cigar is the people around you.
I
So,
agree. I agree. I agree, bro. Oh
you
God,
know,
my wife has ruined some great cigars for me.
oh my God, I hope she don't watch this.
Oh, oh, I'll tell her to come out here. Hey, girl, you ruined some cigars for me.
Yeah, I really wanted to catch up with you when we were there in Tampa. I mean, my goodness, Cathedral
It's off the hook. What
off
they
the hook.
do, it's just a beautiful environment. I'm proud to say we have one here in Tampa. They came from, I think San Diego. So it's a group that started in San Diego and branch out. They're going to open another one in Sarasota. And so, but for me, I don't go there often because they focus on other lines. So they're very tight with Fuente. So you know
Right.
what?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Fuente market, and that's a Fuente shop. So for me to go in there, I will eventually, but I've never been there. When it's open, I did visit when she was building the building, but I've never seen it open, fully decorated and all that. But my friends have reported back, bro. You
Yeah.
take your fucking cigar hat off and go as a fan because it is.
Hey, Rick, I'm telling you, do that. It's worth just going. But I quickly noticed that because anytime I go anywhere, I'm a fan of not just uh, CAO, but general.
Yep, sure.
I think it's
Yeah.
outstanding, line.
Hmm.
And also, I'm gonna share some news with you.
Hmm.
Uh, we have a sponsorship. It's a new online company. It's called Triple R Trading Company.
Okay.
Online cigars, and we're partnered up. Chris is going to be handling account with us uh, because we're going to go through general and make some stuff happen. And also, I think with our fan base, there will be some things that we can do, with the Firewalker to start, really, getting it out there as well.
You
You
know,
know,
for me to you, whatever I can do for you to help you achieve your goal. Before you ask me the question, know this answer: yes, I would do anything possible to help you, to connect you with the General Cigar or your local rep, and to help you guys out. I will work tirelessly to
And I
get.
know that. I know that. I know that.
You
Thank
know,
you. I do.
offline, when you're ready, let's talk about that and how I can help you open doors for you. Once I open the door, I have to step back. You have to
Right.
go through it with your
Right.
partners and say, we are of value and you need to do business with us. And this is the reason I have this podcast. I'm very, friendly to cigars and all that. So you sell yourself and everybody's going to buy into that.
And I'm a firm believer that I'm one of these people. I don't like the whining boxes. I don't like people to pour me. The only thing that I've ever needed in life was open the door, because I'm ready to walk in. I just sometimes you need that door to be open.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It's like a job interview anyway. I mean, your resume and everything got you there, but you still have to sell yourself at the end of the day.
Yourself. And
Right.
some people have the ability.
Right.
Some people are losing jobs right now because they don't have the ability to showcase themselves. They're just
Right.
that the guy. I can do their job. I can do this job. I can't sell myself. And so,
Right.
fortunately for me, one of my favorite things is to interview. And my
Mhm.
daughter's always said, "Thank God, Dad. Thank God you never walked into a hospital and said, 'I'm here to apply for a surgeon job,' because you'll get it. Not being a surgeon, not even being able to spell surgeon, but you'll get
Right.
it because you know how to sell yourself, how to make people comfortable." And so, but it helped me. So it helps
Right.
me today do my job. So you're right. My thing is to show you the right door because there are multiple doors. This is
Right.
the
That
one you
bingo.
can walk through right now. The other
Right.
doors is later on. Don't worry about
Right.
that. Let's
Right.
go through this door first, and that will lead you to
Yeah.
multiple doors in the future.
Yeah. At some point, they start to automatically open if you just
Exactly. Yeah.
cultivate that door.
Hmm.
And before we get out of here,
Okay.
you got to give me your Super Bowl pick and why.
Well, my heart went Cincinnati because one of my, I don't know why, one of my favorite football teams growing up was always these three teams, college teams: Michigan, Texas, and LSU. Don't know why. Never been to any of those stadiums, but I grew up. So I want Joel to win, but I think I would say the power of what we just went through with LA. LA's time is this year. I think LA will handle their job and win this Super Bowl, but I'm not going to give up my man because what he did to get to the Super Bowl, going through Tennessee and on his back 9 times.
Yes. He took a
Ray,
beating.
10th time, and I'm going to throw that touchdown, and that was
Right.
unbelievable. So my heart lies with Cincinnati, but my wallet lies with LA.
Bingo. Because at the end of the day, defense wins championships. And now my heart, I'm a Clemson grad.
Okay.
And we have three Clemson starters: Carmen, T. Higgins, maybe 85, the receiver, and DJ Reader on that line, uh, on that defensive line. And I was proud to see those guys do well. I won't be sad if some of my Clemson guys get them a Super Bowl. Uh, but I seen that defense erupt. and and then in Cincinnati's offensive line hasn't really been
Yeah.
solid. I mean,
Yeah.
Burrow was the most sacked quarterback,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're going to hold up.
No, I
But
think
if they do, they're not going to stop those wideouts. It's going to be a long day if they can't get to Burrow.
I fear that the corner for LA
Ramsey,
Ramsey is going to shut down the wide receiver
Chase,
Chase, and but that defense line with the added with the guy from the
Von Miller,
bro, he's clicking, and Sam Darnold is just
a beast anyway. Yeah.
a monster, a monster. So, good for them that they win because they've been there. They touched it. They can smell it. They deserve it. But I'm pulling for Cincinnati because, again, we're from Tampa, smaller community like Cincinnati. LA versus New York, LA all the time. I
Right.
do not like any teams from New York, the Jets or Giants or whatever. But right now, I love the small underdog, and so hopefully
Right.
we're. You know what? Give us a good game. Just give us a good game.
Yeah, let's see a Super Bowl.
Last play. Whoever wins, we're going to go over with. Wow, that was a great game.
They need to do away with the Pro Bowl. This tag trash. Why do it?
What I turned it to another sporting event I thought it was horrible too, but I watched the race card in the LA Coliseum, and that was unwatchable too, but more watchable than the Pro Bowl.
That's terrible.
Somebody mentioned this, and I'll let you go, but somebody mentioned what we should do is take the two worst teams in the NFL and you play for the number one pick. That would be game on. Game on.
Well, that would definitely be my sorry team. I'm a Washington Commander now.
Oh, that is against Jacksonville. Jacksonville and you.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll watch it.
Yeah. So hey, that's what it is. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this, and hopefully you'll have me back. And
Absolutely.
Because there's so much more that I can share with you and your fans, and really helping them understand why they enjoy something, not something else. So there's so much more to learn, and I'm willing to share anything and everything with you.
Well, my fan base, they're a lot of them are new students to the game, and that's what I like. And they're sponges; they just want to absorb. And so I anticipate a lot of comments, and I'm just going to write them down, and then we'll do this again in a few months.
I would love that. Love that.
Yeah. Say, okay, here's the questions.
Yeah, you can also, if you have, top 10 or 5 questions that was asked for the show, just send me a text and I'll answer them, so you can get back to them really quickly, and then maybe we can let's talk offline. Maybe we can give them a gift, something. So maybe the next time, if you have a good question, we're going to answer the question and also send you a little gift for that question.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Something we can do together that makes your fan base very happy that they joined us.
Awesome. And I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to let you go. Sean Williams, our birthday is a day apart. I'm June 27th. He's June 28th. And so in 2019, when we were there at the trade show, Rick, I got to be honest with you. That was birthday week for me. And it was a blur. Vegas, 10 days in Vegas will, I don't even know how I survived. I don't.
Yeah, it'll take the best of any man or woman down to their knees.
Down to the knees. And Ed Reed was awesome because he had
I love him.
He shut down the restaurant and had the chef stay and did me like a birthday dinner with some of my closest friends. It was awesome. And Sean Williams, he gave me some nice birthday cigars, but he's going to do a webcam because man, the spectrum, like people are talking about these new Cohibas as well.
Well, I'll share this with you, our history of me and Sean. I met him about now going on about 13, 14 years ago, and I was a blender for La Gloria. I'm just fresh off my training, and I was a blender for La Gloria, and I walked into the shop in Atlanta, and it was one dude in the front doing some computer work, and the owner says, "Ricky, I need to take a call. Just wait out here, and I'll get back with you." And I said, "Sir, can I maybe give that guy a cigar?" And he says, "Yeah, for sure." Yeah. And I went to Sean, and not knowing he owned his own company, and I sat down. I am the master blender for Jello Cigar and La Gloria. and
Right.
I have a new cigar I want you to smoke. He says, sit down with me. What do you do? I said, I'm the blender for. And so you're married? Yeah, I have kids too. And we spent an hour talking about wives and our kids. And I walked away. Okay, I want this dude in my life. And I walked out, and I didn't exchange numbers. And I remember that night, it's like, oh my God, that fucking guy. What's his name? Fuck, I don't know his name. And so fast forward about a year later, I'm in the trade show, and Sean is walking toward me. And I said, hey, dude, I met you. Yeah, you're Ricky. Yeah, what's your name? Sean Williams. Okay, what are you doing here? How did you get into this trade show? Bro, I own my own company. What? You want me to just talk to you about your family, and I talked about you never. Hey, bro, it was not my time. So about maybe you ask Sean how long. I think he's been with us for 5 years now, and I remember
and his cigars when he first started, I mean, they were awesome.
very good, very good. But he was unknown, and he was struggling because if you're not a known kind
Right.
of a guy, it's going to be hard. And
Right.
so I remember the VP of marketing said, the success we had with you in CAO, we're thinking about adding a new guy for Cohiba. If you know anybody, I said, bro, I know this guy called
Yeah,
Sean.
say no more. Yeah.
And he said, who's Sean Wood? Don't worry about that. Please do me a favor and just call him and talk to him for 5 minutes, and you make your decision after that phone call. And they called me back. We're ready to hire this guy. I said, I don't know if it's going to leave. He didn't mention to them I have my own cigar company. And I called Sean and said, Sean, I don't know what is happening in your cigar, but General Cigar is going to approach you. He says, Ricky, you know what? I want the opportunity. And we're so blessed.
So humble. So humble.
Bro, what he has done with Cohiba and what he has done to make that brand worldwide known is amazing. Not amazing because I know Sean, and I know he was a right guy for that line. So he's my brother.
Absolutely.
I love this guy. I would do anything, and I know if I said, Sean, I'm broken down in West fucking Texas right now, and I have no money. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, and he would do that for me. So good. Your fans, please do yourself a favor and be a part of that show because you'll love and the approach of him is unbelievable. His knowledge and the way he talks about cigars, you'll learn a lot from him.
All right, and you know what? Thank you so much again.
I love you.
You know, I always love talking to you, man. I do, and you know what? And I love you more. I love you more. And thank you.
Behind the scenes, Richard. Thank you.
Yeah, Richard does all the graphics and every.
Yeah,
he's real talented.
He has a face for radio, not for video.
Yeah, that's what he says. I'm behind the snes. He does websites and lights, camera, action. Because he always say you're the talent. I'm fine. Back here. So, and like guys, I said, thank you again.
Care. I love you guys, and please call me for anything you need help wise. I'll be there for you. Okay.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the Firewalker. Like I said, I've been seeing the post, and I was like, Firewalker.
Send me a text with your address right now, and I'll
I pride myself on having everything in my mouth. This new.
Don't worry about
How did this escape? How did this get past me?
Because you tried to get with me last week, and I didn't. So it's not your fault. It's my fault because I was going to bring you Firewalker. So it's not your fault. It's my fault.
I appreciate it, and we'll be back in touch soon. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.